I don't usually get annoyed easily, but I've been sick hiding these feelings. It's always been about you, never been about me. Your ego breaks through the ceiling every time I think we're going somewhere. You turn around and say it's going nowhere. It's like talking to a brick wall, waiting for you to say what I wanna hear, thinking it's my fault. I can't control that you don't really care. If you're done with me, then I will let you leave. I will never understand what happened, but now I don't give a damn. Procrastinating, I'm communicating, trying to hold on. It's like talking to a brick wall, waiting for you to say what I wanna hear, thinking it's my fault. I can't control that you don't really care. If you're done with me, then I will let you leave. I will never understand what happened, but now I don't give a damn. Appreciate me, I'm not gonna fight for you if you won't fight for me. I'm not gonna let you back in just so you can leave again. No, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna, I'm too fed up to give a damn. I'm not gonna make you stay if you don't appreciate me. I'm not gonna fight for you if you won't fight for me. Back in just so you can leave again. No, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna, I'm too fed up to give a damn. Talking to a brick wall, waiting for you to say what I wanna hear, thinking it's my fault. I can't control that you don't really care. If you're done with me, then I will let you leave. I'll never understand what happened. Don't give a damn, no. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, no. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, no. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. This song is called Video Game. It's about feeling manipulated and very stuck. I'm on level 27 trying to defeat the villain, but I can't. I've been at it for a while trying to hit at different angles, but I end up dying. It's like I'm living in limbo, praying I God for a symbol, looking around for a safe zone, running low, I'm a man of low. Still on level 27, trying to defeat the demons in my head. I'm trapped in your video game. You tricked me into playing, watching myself on kick-cam. There's no way I will win. Stranded in your video game, my heart can't escape. But if I learn one thing, you want the controllers who can control you. I'm your video game. You're pushing my buttons, not giving me love until you cannot someone to manipulate. I'm your video game. You're pushing my buttons, not giving me love until you cannot someone to manipulate. I used to be OP, now I don't recognize me. Feels like it's 1v1 against my This next one's called Hey London. Hey London, hey London, I'm so over it. Back up into Trafalgar Square, to the pub, maybe you'll be there. Don't care if it's a foreign fling, no, I don't wanna be alone. Rain boots, wrong side of the dash, terrified the car might crash, and gotta find me an Abbey Road before I catch a plane back home. Bittersweet goodbye. Hey London, my eyes are red and out of my mind and over my head. Let London losing my grip, though I'm on the gap, so over it. There's no room for me anyway. So I say, hey London, I'm over it. I'm so over it. Hey, phone booth beside Big Ben, got you up and just pretend. Don't wanna be more than friends, yeah, I just wanna be alone. If you wanna kiss a queen goodbye, then better hurry, cause I leave tonight. Clock strikes and you're out of time. I hope you have a good, good life. Hey London, my eyes are red, out of my mind, over my head. Hey London, losing my grip, though I'm on the get so over it. There's no room for me anyway. So I say, hey London, I'm over it. I'm so over it, hey. London Bridge falling down, I'm moving on now. London Bridge falling down, I'm moving on now. Hey! Hey London, my eyes are red and out of my mind, over my head. Hey London, losing my grip, don't mind the gap, so overridden. There's no room for me anyway. So I say, hey London, I'm over it. I'm so over it. Hey. Oh, oh. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I'm so over it. Hey London, oh, I'm so over it, hey. Thank you. This next song is about kind of being, having a lot of social anxiety, which you would think is weird for a musician, but we have it too. And it's called Wired. I don't know why I care so much. I care so much about it. I can't stop the tsunami of thoughts taking over. My body is sick. How I feel like I've died. If I see a guy in the grocery line that I knew sometime in junior high, would ride behind anything I could find. 'Cause I can't function like a human. I panic over things I shouldn't. I Yay.
This is a song off of my EP, Heart of a Goddess. It's called Yours and Mine.
When we lock eyes, you hold me, and honestly, I want you too. I cannot hide how badly I've been waiting to be alone with you. Every time we touch, I lose my focus, feel it in my blood rushing. Oh my, I'm suddenly out of my body. I see your lips tracing on me. They're too hard and we both can't deny. The sun and souls are colliding, symphony on through the night. And when you say my name, I lose my mind. I'm yours and you're mine. I'm yours and you're mine. Hands intertwined, I crave you out of the blue. It's creeping in. A love that's amplified. You whisper, don't be shy. So good, I might just die. Oh, oh, oh. Suddenly out of my body, I see your lips tracing on me. They're too hard to me. Oh, I can't deny. The sun and souls are colliding, symphony on through the night. And when you say my name, I lose my mind. I'm yours and you're mine. I'm yours and you're mine. If I'm being brutally honest, you're brutally handsome, and somehow you want me to. You say I'm beautifully guarded, got the heart of a goddess. Never met someone like you. The only thing that I can think about is how to catch my breath when you're around me. From strangers to lovers to kill it without us. Oh, body, I see your lips chasing on me. They're too hard to me. Oh, can't deny. The sun and souls are colliding, symphony on through the night. And when you say my name, I lose my mind. It's suddenly out of my body, on me. They're too hard and we both can't deny. Symphony on through the night. And when you say my name, I lose my mind. I'm yours and you're mine. I'm yours and you're mine. I'm yours and you're mine.
Alrighty, folks. Hello and welcome back to Motifs Between the Notes here at the Parlor, sponsored by Trinity Beer Garden and RI Energy. I'm Tess Lyons here with Lainey Dionne. How are you doing today? You just
Good,
put on
how
a
are
great
you?
performance. So first, let's start with your story. How'd you get into creating music?
Yeah, so I wrote my first song on a airplane,
Okay.
on a napkin, and I was humming it.
How old were
I was
you?
like 12.
Oh,
It was very Cheetah Girls inspired.
yeah.
It was, no. But then I played at like my high school, like we had like a Battle of the Bands thing.
Okay.
And I played a Day to Remember song. It was back when I had blue hair.
Everybody was like, "Wow, this girl, this girl's deep."
And the whole crowd sang the third part of the song. And that's when I knew I wanted to do music for the rest of my life. And then I went to Berkeley.
Amazing. It's so interesting that you said on a plane, because I feel like whenever I'm on a plane, that's when I feel super like dramatic. I don't know. It's just like a moment of like recollection almost. When do you feel like you write your songs the most? Like, are you in a certain location?
Definitely
or
not on a plane.
Definitely not on a plane. Okay. That's where we differ.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think like I usually write after I like go through a heartbreak, or find the love of my life. Yeah, usually I'm inspired by the connections I make through my life, but sometimes just inspired by hard times. Anytime that I'm like in my feels, that's when I'll write.
Yeah.
But then I also wear another hat where I write for television, and then you're forced to write. So there's different motives there.
Yeah. Do you ever get writer's block?
With that, no.
With writing for television or
yeah, writing for television, no. That's
No.
easy peasy.
Yeah.
With writing for myself, yeah, I mean, I don't really force it. It comes out when something happens. So I wouldn't say like I have writer's block in the moment, but if somebody was like, you need to write a song for a second album right now, I probably would get writer's block with that. It would be tough for me.
Yeah. Like gun to your head right in this moment.
Yeah, because it's like a cathartic,
Yeah.
therapeutic thing.
Yeah, it happens when it happens.
Yeah.
So you graduated from Berklee College of Music, as you just mentioned. How was the experience, and how was getting to be educated on music in a more formal setting, like in an actual classroom?
Can you repeat that?
Wait.
Sorry, it's just hard.
You're totally good. You're totally good.
He's like kicking in.
I know I have one ear there.
Yeah.
So you graduated from Berklee College of Music, like you mentioned. How was that experience, and how was getting to be educated on music in a more formal setting, like in a classroom?
Yeah, so I wouldn't trade my experience at Berklee for the world. I couldn't afford it because it's a really expensive
Because it's a
school.
Boston school.
Yeah. And I ended up doing fall, spring, summer, 24 credits a semester, and graduating in 2 years with my business degree and a minor in audio production and engineering.
How was that time of your life? Still recovering from it?
No, it was 2015, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of hard work. But I think the thing at Berklee is that you learn from actual professionals in the field. So it's not like you're learning from professors. You're learning from people who like were the manager of Mariah Carey or
they know
produced,
what
like,
they're doing.
podcasts. Yeah. So having that hands-on experience of people who did it in the industry was, I think, like priceless.
Really vital.
Yeah.
Did you ever, piano, correct, right? And,
Yeah, I got
and
it on
violin
piano.
and everything. So you learned that in a formal setting.
Yeah, I feel like I was classically trained on piano. And when I tried out at Berklee, it was a jazz program. So I switched like immediately.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't do any of this. And I switched to voice. But yeah, I mean, I learned that piano is the only instrument that I took like actual structural lessons with.
Lessons, yeah. Interesting. And your time in Boston, did you meet a lot of other musicians?
Yeah, I met my first band. We did an East Coast tour.
Nice. What was the band's name?
It was just me.
Oh, okay.
They were all backing me up. And then I released my first album with them. It was like a folk album at the time. And that's what caught the attention of Atlantic Records. And then I got signed in Nashville from that. And then everything kicked off from there. So yeah, I wouldn't trade that experience either.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you've opened for people like Drake Bell in the past. Was that super surreal? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, being a 90s kid.
I'm such a Drake. I've seen him so many times in concert. I love Drake Bell.
Yeah, so being a 90s kid it was definitely surreal to be like, oh my God, that's Nickelodeon.
You're like, oh, that's Drake.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and I got to talk to him backstage, and we jammed out for a while, and I inspired him. He probably didn't do anything with it, but while we were sitting, he was playing songs that we were making up like on the spot.
Nice.
Which is really cool.
So you had like a songwriting session with him, essentially.
We were just messing around with one of his songs. But yeah, it like to be like, I was messing around with one of Drake's songs in the green room of the Met
Before our performance.
Like, yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Wait, the Met. You opened for him at the Met. When was this?
2018 or 19, I think.
I think that I saw.
You were there.
Yeah.
You saw me.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Wow. That's so funny because we had one of the issues of Motif backstage and he had me autograph it for him.
I took the picture, when he's like holding Josh.
Yeah.
I cropped out Josh's face and I put my face in there and I had him sign that. It's on my bedroom wall.
You're like super casual. I did a little art project. That's amazing. Who's a dream person for you to open for? Or just be in collaboration with?
I mean, really anybody that's in the indie pop scene right now, like Gracie Abrams. I really like this band, Tommy Lefroy. If you haven't heard of them, you should go listen to them. Obviously, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift would be top tier. That would be so cool.
But yeah. Anybody that's currently a
Yeah.
female in the indie pop scene.
And maybe Drake Bell again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah. We love Drake and Josh. You've been part of different television shows on various networks like MTV, Amazon Prime, TLC, Bravo, Peacock, and E! Can you tell me about your involvement in those networks?
Yeah. So a producer named Kevin Rockhill, he's amazing. Shout out.
Shout out, Kevin.
He produces tracks. He sends them to me, and then I sit in my bedroom and I top line them. So top lining is writing the lyrics, the melody, and singing it. I record it into my laptop and I send it back to him. He works his magic, and then it gets placed into like Paris Hilton's show we just did, all the Real Housewives. All the networks. So you said there's shows on them, but yeah.
Do you want me to list the networks again? There's so many. How does that feel? I mean,
the first one that I ever got on was MTV Teen Mom, and I cried. And then they just
because of the episode or hearing your song?
just because I was like, my song's on MTV.
Mom, I made it.
Yeah. So they've all been like rushing in ever since, and it's been amazing to hear it. Now it's just like he'll text me and be like, hey, we were on so and so last night, and then I'll go and look up the episode. We just did the real wives of the Mormon, the real lives of Mormon wives.
I've yet to catch that show, but it seems
episode 7.
Episode 7.
Hear my voice.
Episode 7 apparently has a great soundtrack. Yeah. I hear. That's amazing. And you do all that. You're a Rhode Islander, yeah?
Yes.
So you do all of that from the small estate.
Smithfield.
So how does it feel being from the small estate and doing these big things with these big companies?
Yeah, it's kind of insane. I'm very lucky. I work with a lot of people that are international, as well as people in LA, people in New York. So it's nice that the pandemic kind of did that to us, kind of forced us all to go online. So it was that networking
really.
that everybody
Here's
had
another
to do it.
concert on
so,
live.
Being in the small state, I mean, I'm proud to represent. But it's great that you could do everything online now.
So you think that was a positive of COVID? That
I mean, there weren't very many.
Yeah, you had to look
COVID,
really deep to find that silver lining.
Doing sync was very easy during COVID because you just got them in your bedroom. You just set them out. It was like a 24-hour turnaround, done on a show. So
that's what your COVID experience was like. Did you kind of just sink into the music, the writing more?
Sync.
Yeah.
Synced into sync. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you had an album released in 2021 called Self-Titled, then an EP, which you released this year.
Yes.
And most recently a single called Square One.
Yes.
Are you planning on dropping another album?
Yeah. So the first album did really well. It's like won around 40 awards. So
Sick.
Yeah.
For the New England Music.
I did New England Music Awards,
Yeah.
the New England Songwriting Competition, Unsigned Only International Songwriting Competition. There's been a bunch. So that was really well received. And then the EP Heart of a Goddess that came out this year, one of the songs on there was Grammy considered. So
That's
that was very
amazing.
cool.
What was that process like?
Scary.
Anxiety provoking.
Like, oh my god, because it's like the big leagues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the call when I was in an Old Navy and I was touching shirts, and I bought the shirt that I was touching when I got the call.
Yeah, because it's a good luck shirt. The shirt made it happen. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so new songs are definitely in the work. I played an unreleased one tonight, so
That's amazing. What can we expect from this album that differs from the first one?
well, there's still a lot of heartbreak.
There's still a lot of
Still a lot of crushes.
It's tough.
But I think my sound has gone since playing with my bandmates Jay and Ryan, who are awesome here.
Shout out Jay and Ryan.
Yeah. My sound's kind of turned a little bit more 90s alternative-esque because of the organic sound of playing with the band. So they've influenced the arrangements of some of the tracks on that. So you'll hear a little bit more of a 90s influence on the new album.
Nice. And how long have you been playing with your backup guys, with your full band?
We met at my open mic night, and we've been playing for 8 months together.
8 months?
Yeah, they
Nice.
showed up and they were like, we know one of your songs from Spotify. Can we back you up at your open mic night? And I was like, sure. And then afterwards, I was like, can you guys be my band?
Get
And
on
now
stage.
We've been playing ever since.
That's amazing. How has that transition been? Were you just playing primarily solo
Yeah, so I was
and
playing solo. I
acoustic?
play like 4 nights a week solo. But yeah, I missed having a band because my Berkeley band was great. But then they all moved out to LA.
Yeah.
So
They did Berkeley kid things.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. It's great to have those guys are amazing. Yeah.
They seem great. You all worked well together up there. So you mentioned social anxiety when you were introducing one of those.
Great.
Girl, me too. But did performing help you at all overcome that? Because it's essentially you're kind of connecting with multiple people at a time through your music.
Yeah, I feel like it's a different thing. Like
Yeah.
I mentioned in that song, like seeing a person that I knew in like a grocery aisle would make me turn bright red. Like I don't know why, it just kicks in, and I'm like, even if I like that person,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god, I didn't expect to see them.
In some way, like it's embarrassing. It's like,
but being on stage or talking about my music, I've never really had an issue with. I think the business degree kicks in, and I'm like, get into business.
Yeah,
mode.
you're like, this is work.
But yeah, so I guess it's helped me on the front of at least being somewhat okay talking to people.
Yeah,
but
you're doing great.
Thank you.
How long have you been performing on stage for? Was that a tough thing to shake off?
No. Like I've always felt really comfortable on stages. I think my parents put me into like Irish step dancing and violin and all those stuff when I was little, so I've always felt comfortable.
Are you going to ever incorporate that into your performances? Because I think that there's a niche crowd that would really enjoy that.
The next time I play at the Parlour.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just bust it out now.
No. But yeah, I've always felt comfortable on stage, so it's been an easy transition.
Nice. And so what do you think has been your biggest change as a musician, and what do you chalk up that change to? From 12-year-old you on a plane to now.
Well, I hope my songwriting has grown since being inspired by the Cheetah Girls. But yeah, I feel like everything kind of took a really serious turn when I graduated from Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
I really started like managing myself, booking myself, doing web design myself, like every hat that you could possibly wear.
Really marketing.
Yeah. And I think like the first major thing other than getting my artist development deal was one of my songs was being pitched to Selena Gomez. And having that experience of like, that was when I was like, maybe I'm a good songwriter.
Maybe I can do this. Yeah.
And it was optioned. I mean, she held it for like a year and then she passed on it. But that's when I was like,
her loss.
No. But you know, getting your foot in the door is like the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So many opportunities have unfolded since then. So I think believing in myself is like the biggest change.
Mm-hmm. Having that confidence.
Yeah.
I think as a musician, like it's hard to believe like I can actually do this.
Yeah.
So it's great that you've had those experiences that kind of like reaffirm and validate that you are talented.
Yeah.
So what's your writing process like? We touched on it a little bit, but are you kind of lyrics first or music first, or are you waiting to get heartbroken, or do you just anticipate it? What is it?
It's not always like a heartbroken case. Sometimes I'll listen to like a new song by a band that I've never heard of, and I'm like, wow, that song's awesome. Now I want to write a song like that, and I'll sit down and I'll write.
Yeah.
But it's always chords first, and then it's gibberish, like.
Will you kind of just go like,
and vowel sounds come out from that, and the vowel sounds, I like the way that they sit, and then I start writing lyrics based off of what vowel sound I want and whatever comes out with that.
Okay. All right, so you build from
the weird process.
You build from the music first. I'm sure I just want to be like a fly on the wall during that process. So music inspirations, you mentioned a few, Taylor Swift, you know, God love her, but who else, if you could have your music sound, or not sound like them because you want to be different, but if you could have a musician that you're like, oh, their music's so good, I want to slap myself. I wish I wrote it.
I feel like there's a lot of singular songs. I have actually a playlist of songs that I wish I wrote on Spotify.
Wow. Is it called Damn It?
No, it's called Songs I Wish I Wrote.
Oh.
But I wouldn't say like, because I don't think a person's whole career catalog necessarily fits that for me. It's just random singles by random artists that I find on my like Spotify Discover Weekly, on point.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say it's a conglomerate. It's a mosaic of all of those people.
Yeah. It's created one superhuman.
Yeah, and a lot of them aren't signed. They're like independent independent people that
Indie
are just.
people.
I wish I could like come off with it off the top of my head, but I'll post the Spotify link somewhere for people to find after this interview.
So what do you think about being a lifelong Rhode Islander? What do you think about the Rhode Island music scene?
Yeah, so I play a lot of cover gigs in Rhode Island, and it's been. I mean, that's how I make the bank.
Yeah. Well, you said you play 4 shows a week, did you say?
Yeah. So I play with the guys, my own music, and then I also do like little songwriters in the round solo, and then I do cover gigs where I play like 90s, today's hits, 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been great to me. I can't complain.
Do you think because it's the smallest state, there's a lot of pressure to do a lot of collaboration because it's not like somebody's too far?
No, I don't necessarily feel pressure to collaborate with anybody. It's just kind of like the vibes. If the vibes are there, I'm like, yeah, let's write a song or let's do something. I'm really heavily involved in the South Shore music scene in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And, there's a lot of collaboration going on there. But yeah, Rhode Island's great too.
Rhode Island's the smallest state. Alrighty. And a few of your favorite local venues that you've played.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does it have to be Providence?
No, not at all.
No, I'm gonna stick it to Providence. 'Cause
Okay,
Providence
stick
is
it to
awesome.
Providence, yeah.
The Parlour. But the Met was great.
The Met was great, yeah.
Lupo's, but it's the Strand. But it'll always be Lupo's to me for
It'll
some reason.
always be Lupo's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just-
So
it
did
just
you
feels
play? Did you play at it when it was?
I played it when it was the Strand.
Okay.
But I can't. For some reason,
No,
it's
it's
always in my
Lupo's.
mind.
It's Lupo's,
You know.
Yeah. The real ones know. It's like the amp. Like I'll forever call it like the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
Bull Point Park.
Yeah.
I opened up for the Head and the Heart there. and
Okay.
it was awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's technically East Providence, but still counts.
it's fine. It's got the name on there.
Yeah, Providence is great.
Yeah, nice. Alrighty, awesome. Well, folks, I think that we're good on time. Yeah, Mike? Alrighty, sweet. Well, what is next for you? Do you have anything coming up? Any shows that you'd like to shout out or any material coming out? That sounded so intense. I was like, tell me about yourself.
Well, I have a single coming out. It'll come out in 4 weeks. I just got the master back today.
Ooh la la.
So I just got to pick the album artwork, and then it'll be coming out probably mid-October.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that.
Very exciting.
And then we were going to play the Thrive Fest, but that has since been postponed.
Okay.
But we're going to be on PBS, the Ocean State Sessions for Rhode Island. So stay tuned for that.
That's so exciting. And where can people kind of keep up to date with you? Do you have Instagram?
Yeah, so Instagram is Lainey Dionne Music, and then everything else can be found on LaineyDionne.com.
Okay. Sweet.
Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, all the things.
All the good ones. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for being on here, Lainey Dionne, everybody. And thank you so much to the Parlour. And thank you to our sponsors, Trinity Beer Garden and RI Energy. I'm Tess Lyons with Motif Magazine. This is Between the Notes, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.